Good morning, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom all over the world. My name is Kumawe Tarinimi. Kumawe Tarinimi is from Uduni Town in Sagbama, LGA, Bayelsa State, Biafra land. And you are welcome to Radio Biafra, Voice of the Coast, under the auspices of Radio Biafra London. First and foremost, we must pray and commit everything that we are going to be doing today to the hands of Elohim and to his care. For without him, we are nothing. thinking and away you're gonna mock Kirimoteme, the one who made the heavens and the earth, the Spirit, the Father of all spirits. Nana way. Tamara, we are here once again as your children that you have called and separated for this time and for this mission to restore the holy land of Biafra. We have not come to take that which belongs to another. We have not come for the purpose of intimidating somebody, one person or the other. But we have come for the sole purpose of saving our land from those that and wipe us out of the surface. Our Father in heaven, we have no other to run to. We have nowhere else to go to. We have no one to save us except the one that you have called, except the one that you have separated, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We have no weapons, we have no guns, we have nothing until you gave us the assent to protect our land, and we shall continue to give you praise and give you glory on this very land that you have separated us for, on this very land. We shall continue to bless your name. We shall continue to praise you on this very land of Biafra, for that is the purpose for which we are made, and that is the purpose that you have kept us till this last day. We pray for our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu where he is. We ask that you protect him and guide him, shield him from all the forces of evil, and keep his heart strong, focused, and resilient. We pray for all of our people that are giving their all, their resources, their time, their intellect, their strength, giving everything from all over the world, from all walks of life, from every status, all of our people, from every nation of planet Earth, that are doing all that they can, not minding the activities of saboteurs, not minding the activities of our enemies within us, not minding the works that those that we try to save are doing against us. All of our people that are giving their all and they are focused and resilient to ensure that the land of Biafra is free forever. Lord, we pray that you continue to strengthen these ones, that they do not lose focus, that they do not get distracted. Oh Lord, we ask that you continue to give our people the wisdom to obey the right orders and the wisdom to be able to carry on until Biafra is restored. And I pray also for our men in the bush, Eastern Security Network. Lord, these are special angels that you have separated for this generation, that our people must be saved, that our lives must be intact. Lord, we ask that everything that they need, you ensure they get it, irrespective of the desire of the enemy to ensure that they are handicapped to do their work. For your scripture said that if man refused to praise you, that you will raise stones. So also I pray that the men in the forest They shall continue to be strengthened to be able to wipe out every form of terrorism on our land. They shall continue to have victory upon victory upon victory upon victory, because that is what they are called to do, that the land of Biafra shall be preserved for the purpose for which you have called us for. For Biafra is the land that you have separated for this end time to show forth your glory and to show forth your praise. Thank you, Abba Father. Lord, we pray. I pray also for the feeble-minded men in the coast of Biafra. Those ones that love freedom but hate themselves. Those ones that want to see themselves free but hate the process by which their freedom shall be gotten. Lord, we pray that their eyes shall be open and the scales shall fall off their eyes. That the spell of the enemy upon these ones shall fall off and they shall begin to see clearly. And they shall know that sacrifice is what comes before freedom. Without sacrifice, there can be no freedom. Without sacrifice, there can be no good. There can be no peace. Lord, we pray and we ask that all these men that have come out in the coast, that have brought up their ugly heads, to continue to fight against the restoration of Biafra, and to continue to fight that the coastlines of Biafra shall not be free, but shall continue to be in bondage. Abba Father, we ask that the land in which they stay to make such confessions, to make such proclamations, to make actions, we ask that the land swallow them. Let this same land swallow them. Let the waters in which they drink drown them. Let them not see the light of day. All these ones that are giving their resources and using their influences to ensure people are deceived and continually deceived, let them be drowned in water. Let them be drowned in the same water. Let the sea drown them. Let the flood drown them. Let the rivers drown them. That water that they drink, let it drown them. Let it choke them. From right now as I speak, every man, boy, woman or girl that stands against the restoration of Biafra in the coast, every man, woman, boy or girl that has no other option but stands against the restoration of Biafra, let the land swallow them. All those that speak evil and all they are interested is to propagate hatred among our people, let the land swallow them. And let the light of Biafra be shown in the coastlines, to the hinterland, to the glory of the Lord Most High in heaven. All this we pray in the name of Tamara, Aiba, Aziba, Izibe, Ogene, Barry, Chukwokike Abiama. Ise, more power. Welcome once again. And I will say good morning to you, good afternoon to you, good evening to you, and good night to some of you, depending on where you are listening to us from. Today, we are going to be analyzing the role of the United Nations in the restoration of Biafra. You know, the United Nations, or the organization called United Nations, was established not up to 100 years ago. About that, before you had the United Nations, you had the League of Nations. The League of Nations developed into the United Nations. You know, the League of Nations is actually the organization that encouraged Europeans. In fact, I would say primarily it was an European organization, the League of Nations. It encouraged Europeans to take the lands of people belonging to other continents. When they did that, the League of Nations approved it. When they sat down in the Berlin Conference of 1884, they decided that they should come to Africa and they should come to other places in the world and occupy their lands. And the League of Nations approved that. Take whatever you can take, then come to the League of Nations and register on the map the places that you have occupied, that it belongs to you. And the League of Nations approved it and gave them the power to take other people's lands for them. So the League of Nations, which gave birth to the United Nations, is the organization that gave Britain the rights to claim lands belonging to Biafra, belonging to Odua, belonging to the people of the Middle Belt, and belonging to the Fulani-controlled Hausa lands, and also belonging to the tribes of the Northeast, which is the Kanuri, Banem Kanu Empire, Kanem Borno Empire, forgive me. We're free people until the League of Nations gave power to take over lands that didn't belong. And when Britain came here, fought wars, killed people, the League of Nations approved it, and they came to the League of Nations and they announced that so and so territory, which used to belong to Biafran people, is now British territory. Territory which belonged to the Odua people is now British territory. The Kanem Borno Empire, which is northeast of the zoo called Nigeria, into Chad, into parts of Chad Republic, into parts of what is called Cameroon. The Kanem Borno Empire was balkanized into European designed new territories in Africa. So the places where Fulani have inspired Boko Haram terrorism is actually Kanem Borno Empire, the territories of the Kanem Borno Empire. That was a nation or a kingdom that the Fulani couldn't conquer. You know, some people think that Fulani give a hoot about religion, about Islam, and all of that. Islam is just a tool to the Fulani. They are conquerors. All they are interested in is to conquer and rule over you. Then the way they have designed their own Islam to favor them, they will now impose it on you, tell you about God, that you must accept God. In the name of God, they begin to destroy your lands. They begin to take over what belongs to you. And with the pretense that they are the ones that practice true Islam, then they will dominate you. They tried and tried to ensure that they dominated Kanem Borno as well, but they couldn't. And because the Kanem Borno people were predominantly Muslims, their propaganda of using Islam didn't fly over there. Because you are a Muslim, I'm a Muslim, we are practicing Islam very well. So what are you trying to tell us? And the Kanem Borno Empire was strong, and they were fighting hard, fighting strongly against the Fulani invasion. So the Fulani couldn't penetrate them. Then, but today, with the help of British Nigeria, Fulani has destroyed what is even left of the Kanem Borno Empire with high-level terrorism. What you have as Boko Haram is Fulani-inspired terrorism to destroy what is left of the Kanem Borno pride. That is what most people may not understand. And this they want to do to everywhere and every territory that they can until they fully conquer everywhere and use Islam as an excuse to gather the people together under the Fulani Caliphate. They used the same propaganda and deceived the Hausa peasants, the Hausa people, to fight against their own kings, and their kings were destroyed. Today, the reverse is the case, or not exactly. The strategy they are using in Biafra land, they use gullible, foolish people to destroy those ones that were reasonably in power, the likes of Ojukwu, and those that fought alongside with him, like Franco Pigo, and his second in command, well, from the coasts. They brought up people that either did not understand what they were doing or were just jealous. They wanted power at all costs and everything. They took advantage of the greed of certain people and used them to fight against people that have the true will of the people and all of that. Fought against them, destroy that structure of people that were in leadership position in the zoo for their people in Biafra land. When they were able to do that, after Biafra in 1970 handed over her sovereignty back to the zoo called Nigeria in hope that maybe we can solve this problem with peace. Since our people are dying unnecessarily, we have already lost about 5 million people plus. Let us give peace a chance and see what will become of our fate. And when that happened, the Biafran people lost it all because they replaced the people in positions of leadership in Biafra with non-entities that supported Nigeria during the war while Biafra was fighting for survival. They used non-entities to put in positions as governors and begin to recycle them until today. That is the reason you have governors in Biafra land that would rather lick the feet of a Fulani stinking man than to stand by his people or by the will of his people. He would rather serve the Fulani at all costs. Sometimes, or many times, even at the cost of the lives of his people, even from his own community. He doesn't care. That is how they recycled people, because they couldn't directly just put Fulani people. So they had to recycle people on our land that would be loyal to Fulani. That was what Fulani did. So after Fulani did that, what we now have a bunch of fools. So right now, what they are doing is the reverse of what they did in Hausa land by using the peasants against the kings. Now they are using the governors against the people, setting confusion. Meanwhile, in the democracy, the people's voice are supposed to be heard. The people said, we do not want elections in our land. We want referendum. If you can spend money for election, why can't you spend money for referendum? If you can campaign for election, why can't you campaign for referendum? Why? Because the will of the people mean nothing to you. Because if the will of the people mean anything to you, you would rather put your efforts in referendum than to put your efforts in election. And the people have decided that we are going to stop elections on our land, even at the cost of our lives. We are going to stop election. Election is not going to hold. Beginning from Anambra, the first son of Biafra. You know, when I first wrote this, an article which I titled Anambra, the first son of Biafra, I didn't even know much about Anambra as much as I do today. About the Eri kingdom and all of that, as much as I do today. But that is the fact which our Isoko brother even reiterated yesterday. So I know many of our people are still expecting some of our coastal principal officers to come up. Yes, today is more or less like a break. From tomorrow we are going to continue. You know, we have handled Bayelsa, we've handled Delta. Yesterday, we've handled River State the day before. So, we are going to ensure that we cover all across the coast so that people are going to understand when we are saying that we are one family and we have people everywhere working for the restoration of Biafra. Every part of Biafra land, we have people working for the restoration of Biafra. It doesn't matter the number of people that are deceived in a particular place. It doesn't matter the number of people that are not following up or that do not understand what we are doing or that are just foolish primarily. It doesn't matter. But what you must know is that there are a good number of people from every tribe and nation in Biafra land working for the restoration of Biafra. But another thing you must know is that everybody cannot see the light at the same time. So, but we must continue and do our best to ensure it spread around as much as we can, as much as it is possible. So, as we were saying, the League of Nations gave this power, and Britain created Nigeria as a result of the power that the League of Nations gave. And after the creation of Nigeria, handed over to Fulani to continue to rule in her stead. When Biafrans refused, Britain, with the help or Britain using Fulani, killed Biafrans in our numbers. Millions of us, millions of our fathers and their brothers were all killed because we decided to have a destiny for ourselves, to choose our path and choose our destiny. They called us names. They say that our leader Ojukwu was a rebel and all of that. And at the end of the day, they had things to justify it. After all, it was in a military government. It was a military system. Ojukwu was a military man. Gowon was a military man. It was military government. In the military system, there are no laws. The usual democratic laws do not govern the military system. The military laws govern the military system. Dictatorship. And what you get about dictatorship is that what the head says is law is what is law. So, when Gowon declared Ojukwu and all Biafrans fighting to maintain the territory of Biafra as rebels, it was law that they were rebels. Even though it is a lie that they were rebels. Because they were not rebels, they actually tried to ensure that these things could be resolved before, and it wasn't resolved. They got into agreement. Agreement was not taken until they decided that if you cannot take that agreement, then we cannot continue to be together. We cannot be with you at all costs. And that was what caused the disagreement. And Biafrans said, if Biafrans cannot be protected, in the zoo called Nigeria, the Biafrans have to protect Biafrans. That was the reason Ojukwu declared Biafra a sovereign state of our own. But afterwards, they came and killed as much as they could in the name that our fathers were all rebels. Same thing, same mindset that Buhari had when he declared and said that IPOB is a terrorist organization, thinking that this was the military era where whatever the dictator says is law. You can dictate for Nigeria like that, but even in the Nigeria, it cannot fly in the courts. You can come and do whatever you want, say whatever you want, but in the courts, you must have to prove it. This man is a terrorist. Prove it. First of all, who are terrorists? So, these are things you must prove in the courts. And that is why they cannot, they are afraid to go to the courts to talk. Bring him to court, bring him to court. They brought him to court. They refused to do anything. Adjourn case. So, when we now started, when Mazi and Kanu started this movement, we started on the law. We are doing this movement on the law. That is the reason you cannot defeat us in the law. We are following the law, the corrupt law of the zoo. We are not breaking it. The law of the United Nations, in fact, is our primary inspiration. The laws in the United Nations is our primary inspiration. The law in the zoo as well, we are recognizing the constitution in the zoo called Nigeria. We are recognizing. So you must understand that this movement is a peaceful movement on the law. Because the laws that are signed in the United Nations, when member nations of the United Nations sign to, all those laws are what we are working on and making our demands. We are not just working by our feelings, how we feel, or because we are angry and we're doing things. No. Every demand we are making is according to the laws. Even though, if Biafra were to be in one under one European country, and we're making this agitation for a very long time, UN would have come to our aid to see how they can solve this problem. But because Biafra is in Africa, UN, like I told you before, UN is a child of the League of Nations, which was actually by Europeans. So UN is more or less more influenced by Europeans. It is European organization. Even though there are other powerful nations in Asia now that also have their say in the United Nations. But primarily, it is for Europe, created by Europeans. So, they did not care about what happened to us
for these long years that we have been struggling and fighting and being killed over and over again. They didn't care. But one thing you must know about the law, what you must know about the law is that the law do not look at faces of people. The law do not look at faces of people. So when somebody is saying, oh, what will UN do? And all of that, you must understand that we are not dependent on individuals in the UN. We are dependent on the law. And why? How are you going to know that we have gotten to the final stage? Is because all the United Nations could do is to try to keep a blind eye to what is happening on our land, to our people. They have done that for many years. Our leader presented his case. He has gone to many countries, even the EU. He has been there. United States. But still, they kept mute and they did nothing practically. So today, the UN have started speaking and asking questions. Now that the UN have started speaking and asking questions, the UN cannot stop. Why? Because everything we're doing is in their law. Everything we're doing is in their law. And we have never said that what we want is war. We have only said that we are not Nigerians. We are Biafrans. And what we want is a referendum. And it is in their law. It is also in their law that we have the right to defend ourselves. So, if now that the UN have seen all what is happening and all of that, and they have asked questions, and probably Nigeria refused to answer to them, and all of that, and they still kept mute, then we now decide to take our land by ourselves. The UN will have no choice but to recognize us, because it is in their law. That is why I told you, the law have no face. The law do not recognize face. The law is the law. And there is something about the law. The law defines who you are. The law is the law that can be used to tell whether you are good or you are bad. Whether your intentions are good or your intentions are bad. It is the law. It is not how a man feels, but it is the law. Now, the UN have a reputation to protect. That is why the law is important. The UN, the United Nations, have a reputation to protect. If not for the reputation of the United Nations wouldn't have asked the zoo called Nigeria the questions that they have asked them concerning what they have done to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by breaking international laws. The United Nations wouldn't have asked, because I must tell you the fact, practically, the people there do not really care whether Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dies or not, but they care about their law. They care that we are strong enough to speak out. We are strong enough to take them to court. We are large enough. We have enough number to tell the world that the UN do not respect her laws. It is not because they love us. No, far from it. If they loved us since from 2013 or 2014, or maybe 2015, for a referendum in Biafra. So you must understand that this has nothing to do with love or hate. This is the law. So do not forget, we have a case with Kenya. We have a case in Nigeria. And our lawyers are working every day to ensure that the world is put on notice. And we're not going to stop. So this issue whereby this issue of racism, oh, they are black people, it doesn't matter. If black people let them kill themselves, it doesn't matter. It is beginning to matter. Because we have proved beyond every reasonable doubt that we are not just black, but we are powerful. If the UN refuse to do anything, we are going to continue to enlighten the world as much as we can until the UN will lose her reputation, until people will begin to ask questions. So, when the UN decided to ask these questions, it is not anything whatsoever, but it is because of the pressure that we have been putting. If anything happens, if the zoo begin to burn and the oil companies no longer function, because if the UN refuses to do anything and this thing turns out to become a full-blown war, it is going to affect everything, including the business of European nations in the zoo. It is going to affect their businesses, their investments, if not even the life of their personnel. Because bombs and bullets do not know color, do not know skin color. If a bomb is put on any shell location, whatever, and there's a white man there that is an American citizen, a British citizen, a German citizen, whatsoever, he will die, as well as the black people there. And they know these things, they know the cost. And when they begin to lose their people like that, what are they going to blame? They are going to blame the United Nations that refused to do something when they could have done it. Because the fact is, the white people, they are smart, and they have gotten to know that the Biafran people will never stop. This thing we are doing will not stop except Biafra is restored. Biafra is a spirit. The more you kill us, the more we are inspired to do what we do. So it will not stop. Some years back, were people in uniform dying? Today they are dying. People in uniform were not dying, they were the ones killing us. We didn't even send anybody to kill them because we are still going by the laws. But people have risen up and they have started killing them. Men in uniform are dying, as well as innocents that they are killing. So, this is just the tip of the iceberg if they do nothing. Because as much as people are being provoked, people are getting to work to do much more as their heart takes them. Because one thing is this: when you provoke a people to the extent whereby they can no longer take it, they no longer have value for life. They just feel that, come on, it is just better for me to commit suicide. But instead of me to commit suicide, I will sacrifice my life to ensure that the people that are causing me this pain, they feel as much pain as I'm feeling. If they succeed in taking my life in the process, so be it. Then they have helped me to go. They have helped me to live here. That is the position that our people have come to. Many have gotten there. And many more will. Some people see, when you talk to some Biafrans and they are not fully involved, they want to stay aside, give support. Some of them still feel, okay, maybe there is still hope. Maybe if I don't do it, someone else will do it. Maybe one thing. Or maybe even if this thing doesn't come, we might still be able to survive one way or the other. They have not gotten there. Some of us have gotten there. We have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose. And you cannot kill us. We have nothing to lose. All we want is Biafra. And we must get it. If there are human beings anywhere in the world that are free and have their nations, call the nations the names they choose, then we must be free. We must have our nations and call the nations the name we choose. Izo is a name that was not given to us by any man, but by Elohim in heaven. Just as Elohim created England, and they are called England, the land of the English people, so we are called Izo. Just as you have the British Isles, you have Britain. That is how we have. Why should you be able to answer your name and we cannot answer our names? There is no known territory in the world called Izo, but there are Izo people. What a mess. It is not possible. We must answer our original names. Original names. Not all these things created by somebody just came and say, okay, this from this place to this place to this place should be called Bayelsa. Then from that day, I am now somebody from Bayelsa. I am not from Bayelsa. If my father had died before 1996, he wouldn't have known anything that is Bayelsa. If you resurrect him and tell you and ask him, where are you from? The one you will remember is River State. If he had died before 1967, what he would have. And of course, my grandfather never knew anything that is called Bayelsa. I think he died in the 80s or 70s, thereabout. So, these things that are created by man, Nigeria, all these nonsense structures that they are, all these things were created by dictators. Nigeria was imposed on us as a name. River State was imposed on us as a name. Did the people of River State vote and say that we want to be called River State from today? Did they even know? Were they even aware? One day in October 1st, in October 1st. No, it wasn't October 1st. It was 27th. Because they want to divide the Biafran people, they decided to create states out of the eastern region. Urgently, they usually do all these things on October 1st, but they couldn't wait. Urgently, they rushed. Oh, let us do it now. Let us do it now. Let us do it now. Now. And what name? Call it River State. And now River State became the tribe of certain people. If you ask them, where are you from? They will say, I'm a Rivers man. Oh my God. Some of our people can be very foolish. No pride. No iota of. Are you not ashamed that a fellow human being is the one that created the name that you're proud of? I am a proud Izon man. And it is not human being that created Izon. It is not human being that created Izon. So why should I accept what man? Izon nation was not created by humans. How we even moved and even had different settlements. It wasn't planned. All these things came naturally. How the dialects that we speak differ from each other, but are closely knitted. We didn't even plan them. These were things that were by Elohim in heaven. And one man somewhere will just come and say that we must not answer that name. That now, you are now Niger Delta. Even the Niger, the river whereby they are using to call us Delta of. That river was there before the man that named it Niger came. He came and named it Niger. We did not complain. He is now changing our name to the Delta of it. And we are happy. Now we are now proudly Niger Deltans. We must be foolish. No iota of pride. You know one thing about slaves. Slaves have no pride. Slaves have no pride. Once you lose your pride, you are no longer a free man. You are a slave. Slaves have no pride. And your pride comes from your identity, knowing who you are. That is where your pride comes from. Once you stop knowing who you are, when a man wants to make you loyal to him and make you his slave, he destroys your identity and gives you his own identity. He destroys your identity, what you knew, and he gives you his own identity. When you accept his identity, you have accepted slavery. If you do not understand that, go and watch the documentaries of Kunta Kinte. Then you will understand. Kunta Kinte was a black man stolen from Africa, sold by his brothers, bought by white men, Europeans, taken to the Americas, but refused to accept slavery. He was a free man, even though he was bought a slave. He refused to bear the names of those that claim to be his. They called him a name. He said, no, that is not my name. This is my name. They did everything they could. He kept on telling them what his name was. And because he didn't submit, today his descendants can easily trace their origin. But those that submitted, the rest of the millions of those that submitted, their descendants cannot trace their origin anymore. Except with today's technology of DNA tests. So, today now, they can be able to know, okay, we are from here through DNA tests. But without DNA tests, in a time in the world where there were no DNA tests, Kunta Kinte refused slavery. Why would Kunta Kinte not just accept a name that is given to him? Why would he allow himself to be tortured just because of a name? It is because he has pride. Many of our people have lost that virtue called pride. We are going to be back. Excuse me. We are going to be back very soon. Welcome back, great Biafrans. The United Nations sent an appeal to the Nigerian government and to the Kenyan government demanding to know why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was tortured, was kidnapped, was kept in the dark for about 10 days without anybody being aware of where he was, and taken to Nigeria, and Nigeria chose to keep him hostage. The United Nations have demanded for explanation from the governments of Nigeria and that of Kenya. Let me see if I can read a little out of what they wrote. Just a little. Definitely I will not be able to read everything, but just some few specific things. I'll read the heading, then I will see if I can read a little of the introduction and pick one or two things that might matter to us. Mandates of the Special Rapporteur on torture and other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. The Working Group on Arbitrary Detention. The Working Group on Enforced or Involuntary Disappearance. The Special Rapporteur of the right of everyone to the enjoyment of the highest attainable standard of physical and mental health. The Special Rapporteur on Minority Issues and the Special Rapporteur on the promotion and protection of the human rights and fundamental freedom while countering terrorism. Written on the 26th of August, 2021. Excellency, we have the honor to address you in our capacity as Special Rapporteur on torture and other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment, Working Group or Arbitrary Detention, Working Group on Enforced or Involuntary Disappearances, Special Rapporteur on the right of everyone to the enjoyment of the highest attainable standard of physical and mental health, Special Rapporteur on minority issues, and Special Rapporteur on the promotion and protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms while countering terrorism, pursuant to Human Rights Council resolutions. For resolutions 4320, 4222, 45.3, 42.16, 43.8, and 40.16. In this connection, we would like to bring to the attention of Your Excellencies government information we have received concerning allegations of enforced disappearance, arbitrary detention, torture, and ill treatment of Mr. Nnamdi Kanu by Kenyan security officials, as well as his illegal rendition to Nigeria to face trial for terrorism-related charges, which are believed to be linked to his leadership of the organization Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB group. Since his rendition to Nigeria, Mr. Kanu has been detained by the Department of State Services, DSS, and denied family visits, confidential access to a lawyer, and necessary medical treatment for his underlying health condition. Special procedures mandate holders have previously raised concerns about the proscription of the IPOB as a terrorist organization in accordance with the Terrorism Act as amended in 2013 in their communication referenced ALNGA 5 2020 furtherance 2020. Furtherance concerns regarding discrimination and violence against members of the Igbo minority were also expressed in their communication referenced UANGA 4 2017. We regret the lack of responses from Your Excellency's government to either communications. The case of Mr. Kanu was previously transmitted by the Working Group on Enforced or Involuntary Disappearance to the government of Nigeria and clarified in 2017. You know, these documents are open. You can have access to it and read more and see the demands that was made by the United Nations. The United Nations, like they rightly said, these things came to their table, and we are the ones, the indigenous people of Biafra, that brought it to their table. And we are going to keep putting that pressure. So they cannot say that they did not know. Not say that they are not aware. And if our people get tired, things will get worse. It's the truth. Things can get worse. Now we'll be opening the lines, and you can call in if you want to. If you want to give your contribution to today's program, do not forget, tomorrow we are going to continue to host our coastal Biafran top officials in the movement for the restoration of Biafra. We are going to continue tomorrow. But for now, we are going to be taking questions and answers. Signal number +45 7164 5962. That is the signal number to call. The Skype, you just type Radio Biafra. Biafra VOC, and you will be able to get connected to us and call us and express your will on this matter. The WhatsApp number to call is +48 57 96 45 10 +48 102. That is the WhatsApp number to call. You can call us and give your contribution. The lines are open for you to call. The lines are open for you to call now. Okay, so we must continue. We must continue. You can call any of these numbers and you shall be able to get us. We're waiting to receive the calls, and we do not have all the time in the world. That is why if you are ready to call, it is better you call earlier so that you do not call at a time when we are rounding up, and because when our time is up, we will not be able to take your calls because we will have to round up and leave the floor. Okay? So we may have to round up and leave the floor for others to take over from where we have stopped. But for now, you have the time you can call and give your contribution to the program as we move forward. The lines are open. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, Mazi Terry, the African rep this afternoon from here. May Elohim Chukwu bless you, my brother.
You say?
Yeah, my beloved brother, Mazi Akas. I'm calling from Austria. And by the special grace of God, I am the IPOB National PRO. Before I proceed, Mazi, I just want to please make this announcement very fast. Fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, the IPOB GRAT is calling for a general meeting. IPOB GRAT is calling for a general meeting. And this meeting is very important that every IPOB in GRAT must attend this meeting. Please, every IPOB in GRAT must attend this meeting. There are a lot of things, new development that's supposed to be discussed. And also, we are using this opportunity also to invite those who are looking for opportunity also to join the indigenous people of Biafra. This date, and I'm going to announce also, is going to be an opportunity for you to be in that meeting. And the date is on 30th, which is Saturday this week. On 30th, which is Saturday this week, please, the venue of this meeting is Cafe Meal. Those living in Grass knows Cafe Meal. This is where this meeting is going to be held. Time is 6 p.m. in the evening. Time 6 p.m. in the evening. And if you want a number, if you don't know the place and you want a number that you will call and get the direction where Coffee Meal is, please call this number 0688 64146487. I repeat, 0688 64146487. This number is the number of the zonal coordinator Mazi Obonnaya. Please make sure you call this number if you don't know the venue. And please, very, very important, we know what the time is. Our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been extradited to the Zoological Republic called Nigeria, and now the zoo is in a hot soup. Please, every IPOB member in GRAT must be in this meeting. Failing to come, then you are on your own. Please, very, very important. This announcement may God bless you as you come to this meeting, and everything you want in this life, Elohim is going to supply it to you all according to. I want to proceed to say that, when these people was planning this evil, when the zoo was planning this extraordinary rendition, Fulanis, they don't know the outcome of the evil they want to commit. Now they are in a very hot soup. And we Biafrans have made up our mind that we will do everything in our own power through the grace of Chukwuka Biama to make sure that Nigeria is completely destroyed. Because the people that are living there cannot be able to breathe anymore. It's a country where they don't have front, they don't have back, they don't have left, they don't have right. They are just roaming about every day. People are suffering, dying, smiling and suffering. So there's no need of maintain. Look, my brother, if anything that is not good put in good place must surely one day come to nothing, because Nigeria have suffered the masses enough that the people themselves now have visited this country. So in a nutshell, we are saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any crime and he must be released unconditionally. Just as we are calling our brothers in the coastal region to come and join this struggle, because this is not something only Mazi Terry will do. It is collective effort. Everybody must come together and let us fight once and for all to gain our freedom. Because at the end of the day, nobody is enjoying. Even you that said you have oil, are you enjoying? Somebody from Fulani, Sudan of Sokoto, have more than 26 oil wells in Biafra land. Why some of you that making mouth that you have oil, you cannot be able to boast that you even know how the oil looks like? So only the better we do this thing once and for all to gain our freedom, so that everybody will go home and manage what you have. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have made it clear. He has said it often and often that in Biafra, everybody is going to be on your own. Nobody is going to load it to each other. So we must make sure that we have joined hands together to fight with our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, so that we can be free. This is what I want to say. And may God bless you, my brother. Continue your good work. May Elohim bless you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mazi Akas. Elohim bless you for the good works that you're doing for our struggle. Thank you. God bless you. We must proceed. We must continue. The lines are open. You can call and give your contribution, just as our brother is giving just given his contribution. Okay, you can call in and give your contribution, and we proceed. But first and foremost, let me see if I can play this jingle. Sorry, this jingle. Forgive me.
Special announcement to all Biafrans. Have you heard about the bid? Biafra Education Awareness Day. Coming soon all over the world. We must come together and learn. It is time we come together from every angle of the world to learn, because every man is born ignorant. But false education makes a man stupid, foolish, selfish, and unwise. And for this reason, Biafra Education Awareness Day, BEAD, presents the continued genocide against Biafrans, a lecture series you cannot afford to miss. Biafra Education Awareness Day is a day set aside for the dissemination of information about Biafra. A day set aside for the continuing education of Biafrans, friends of Biafra, and lovers of freedom. The stories of where we were, where we are, and where we are going, such stories can only be told by us as we turn our bits of knowledge into pearls of wisdom. This generation will no longer allow our stories to remain hidden under the oppressor's carpet of tyranny. On Saturday, 30th October, we shall once again come together to educate ourselves on the continued genocide of Biafrans. Our children have to be told our story. Our young generations must know this true story. And we must tell our story because we are the best people to tell our story and tell it the way it should be told as we get educated on the continued genocide against Biafrans. This is a program for every Biafran. Date, 30th October 2021. Time, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Venue, Zoom online. Zoom ID is 846264168696. Zoom code 382399. Among the speakers are Professor Philip Effiong, Professor Ewa Anoke, a veteran, Dele Ogun, Lolo Karo Munde, Dr. Justice Okachi Lois, Dr. Uche Anyawago, and others. Come one, come all. Biafra is our hope, Biafra is our home, Biafra is our future, and Biafra is our life. For all Biafrans, this program is for everyone. Therefore come and learn to become a teacher tomorrow. All hail Biafra. Organized by the Biafra Education Awareness Day Committee from the family of IPOB worldwide. This information is coming to you from the desk of the All State Media, IPOB, under the Supreme Command of the Biafra Restoration Movement worldwide, led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Udojerono.
Okay, welcome back. The lines are still open. You can call in and get you can call in and give your own contribution to the program. In case you were not here or you weren't listening when we were announcing the numbers, I will take them again. +45 716 45962. That is for the signal number. It didn't change, but if you are just seeing it for the first time, there are some people that were trying to call in yesterday, but you couldn't call in because of time. You can still try and call in today if you are available. Okay, let us take this caller. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello, Mazi Tariremi. My African rep, I greet you at Rowe Salute. I greet my leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the highest man in the whole world. I want to thank him for the good work that he have done for Biafrans. And the Chukwokike Abiyama, we take him out of that dungeon called Zoological Republic, ASS.
Yes, sir.
I want to use this opportunity and tell my brothers and sisters, there is no election in Anambra State, no election in Biafra land as a whole. And then now I want to inform them, you are going to Biafra, you are coming back late, beware that CID, DSS, they are on mufti all over. They don't wear clothes. They are also in taxi. They are taxi drivers. They are bus drivers also. They are also Okada drivers. They are also wheelbarrow pushers. Our people should notice this. They should remember that the whole Anambra now, there are CID, police, DSS, all of them on mufti. They don't dress very well. When you go out in the night, you come back on time because they are there to kill, to do all sorts of things and label it on IPOB. They should beware. Thank you, my good brother. Keep on the good work that you are doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. That's good. There is no election whatsoever in Anambra. No election. Nobody is going to do any election. And like he said, we have to be careful. Our people have to be careful because these people are looking for the blood of innocent people to drain. So the Skype to call is Radio Biafra, Voice of the Coast, or VOC for short, Radio Biafra VOC, type Radio Biafra VOC on Skype. You can easily get us and call us. The WhatsApp number is +4873964510 That is the WhatsApp number. You can call and get through to us. When you call this number, you will be able to get through to us. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra, Voice of the Coast. Your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, hey, Biafra, my African rep. My name is Kisilos, calling from Morocco. I greet all IPOB, Biafrans in general. What I want to plead to Anambra people, the Biafra referendum is in your hand. Biafra referendum is in your hand. Don't lose it. Don't miss your opportunity. Don't do after the election you come and complain. Stand bold. Nobody going to force you out from your home. Stay indoor. And I'm telling you, if you do this, believe it or not, here I said it, your referendum is at hand. It can never pass this year. It's very short, but you will be surprised. It's not by mouth. It's by what? By the ordained by God. Because of what? IPOB is above election boycott. 2017, we do the election boycott. The consequence is overwhelming. Of course, we know. We can never teach the nature. So do it again and get your referendum without gunshot. Mazi, my African rep, I greet my DOS, my leader, all the whole Biafrans all over where you are. Keep it on, Mazi. God bless you. All Biafra.
Biafra will heal thee. Thank you very much. God bless you. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra, Voice of the Coast. Your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, are you talking to me?
Yes, I am talking to you. You are live on air. Your name and where are you calling from?
All right. Please, if I'm wrong, correct me. Miss Mazi,
Yes.
God bless you, my lovely brother. Before I will introduce myself, this is my first time of calling your platform because I heard you are orator, honestly speaking. Well, Biafrans, my name is Ifeanyi Ebo. Ifeanyi Ebo is from Mbano. Mbano is in Biafra land. There's nothing like a state. By the special grace of God, we are going to wipe all this nonsense, all this concocted state they gave to us. The fact that we are going to cancel all. And I'm living here in Spain, and by the grace of God, I am the deputy coordinator of the best zone in Madrid, Zone 5, a formidable zone.
Wow, that's nice.
My brother, my lovely brother, in fact, I don't know how to thank you, Biafra. We are owing you a lot of thanks. You are just like our beloved brother, also watching later. There is no difference between you and watching later. They have been giving us lecture all the time, opening our eyes, educating us. God will bless you and bless you watching later as well.
You see?
I have not much to say, not much at all. Than to remind Biafrans that the Great Britain that brought their warship in Zoo country, Great Britain should learn from the past. Because those that neglect little things perish little by little. Great Britain, I hope they are listening to me now. Even if they are not listening to me, they have their spies who are hearing us. Let's learn from history, because when there is no history, there is no event. No event, no history. They should remember what happened. You can never compare glucose and glucose B. They are not the same at all. America, with all their sophisticated weapons and their gallant army when they fought the war with what do they call it? Thailand. What happened to the body politics? They ran away immediately. Thailand massacred them in billions, their armies. That will be a tantamount of what happened in Biafra land. Come with their weapons and their equipped armored tank. Biafra, I assure you, this is not a boast. It's not a threat, but a real. Because we are ordained by Chukwu Tabiama. Chukwu Tabiama will open the land, that will holy land of Biafra. And the Britain and their tail will be slaughtered with harvest cruelty. He said, God bless you, my lovely brother. Mr. Our lovely brother, Watchmaker. The Lord will bless you and guard and protect you from the hands of your enemies. That you take to the face. Lord, you should floating. Thank you, my lovely brother. Microphone to you.
Thank you very much. God bless you. That was a brilliant communication. If you're calling and we couldn't take your call because somebody else was on air, you keep calling. So afterwards, when the lines are free, we should be able to take your call. So like he said, Britain, they can bring all the ship that they want to bring, all their fighter jets, all their armories. We are not afraid. We are not afraid to die. We are not afraid to win. The fact is, I have not seen a war that is lost. I've not seen a war that is lost because people lost faith. I mean, because people didn't have weapons, primarily. Wars are lost because people stopped fighting. Let me take this call. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you calling from?
name is Chile.
Okay, Chile.
I'm from Free State, South Africa. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. My contribution goes to our Biafran celebrities. I'm just going to start with Peter Paul, Rude Boy, Timaya, Bona Boy, Osime, Kelechi, MVP, and so on and so forth. Because now, because this situation we are facing is not affecting them or has not affected any member of the family, so now they are keeping mute. We all saw them, they came out during the time of NSAS lending their voice, and EndSARS is one of the most powerful movements in the whole of Africa as a whole after the
Hello. Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when I was speaking to a journalist, he told me that EndSARS was a powerful movement. So why don't these guys lend their voice? Do they think that after we finish dying and after we finish suffering with this cause of Biafra, then they will come and start living large and still living like a celebrity? I just want to tell them that it's not going to be possible. And I also have a message for Nigerian government. My message is there is no this thing that our condition does not determine our strength. Our condition does not determine our strength. Because you have a 30 billion budget does not mean does not guarantee that you're going to win the war if it comes. Because when it comes to dialogue, we are going to dialogue with them. And when it comes to war, we are going to fight with them. We are going to fight with pride. We are going to fight with humility. We are going to fight with joy. We are going to fight with our grandmothers. We are going to fight with our grandfathers, ourselves. We are going to fight with everything that we have. Because what we are fighting for is a just cause. They must get this thing. And I also have a message for DOS. DOS, they are very, very good. They are critical thinkers. I love their strength, their energy. Small body may be weakness. Because they don't talk, there's nothing, they don't know what they're doing. So I want to congratulate them because our people say, okay, Bikin and Komero, more so. They must keep on doing what they're doing. It's working for us and it's working for the Biafran people. Thank you very much, Tarine. This is my contribution.
Thank you. That was a nice one. Thank you. Yeah. Concerning our musicians, well, I would not say, like our caller said, that when Biafra comes, they are no longer going to be international artists and all of that. That one is personal. It's not. They developed themselves. They worked hard. So we are not going to victimize any of our people. We are not going to victimize them. Okay? But those that chose to identify with our freedom, those that chose to identify with our freedom will definitely get special recognition in Biafra. There's no two ways about that. They will definitely get special recognition in Biafra. Okay? So those other guys can, of course, be doing whatever they want to do outside Biafra land, do whatever they want to do. But when we were suffering, you were not there. So when Biafra is restored, we cannot give you that kind of recognition and that kind of attention that people like Josh and the rest of the people that decided to identify with our sufferings. Okay? The rest of our talented people that decided to identify with our suffering. Okay? So if you chose not to identify with the suffering of your people because you feel you can one way or the other, or because you feel if you do that you're no longer going to enjoy being called by the Nigerian government, the zoo government, to be given certain maybe contracts and all of that, to be called to perform in any of their programs, government programs or whatever. If because of those things, that is the reason you chose not to identify with us, well, that is your own cup of tea. But to say that we are not going to what is it called? That we are going to do this to them or do that to them. We are not that kind of a people. we are not going to victimize. We are not going to victimize our people. After all, there are people living in Biafra land right now that are not doing anything. They don't care. They are not fighting against. They are not fighting for. We do not know them. Okay, we do not know them particularly, but when Biafra comes, they are still going to enjoy Biafra. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you calling from?
Thank you very much, Mazi. Good morning from here.
Good morning, my brother.
Thank you very much. I commend you for your duty, for your job. Try to educate our people, because the most sophisticated weapon on this planet is ignorance. My name is Chukwemeka Mabuzo, and I'm calling you from Italy here. My dear brother, what you are doing and the other comrade on the radio, it has been today confirmed that Radio Biafra is more sophisticated and potential. It has been confirmed to all over the world, and it has proven a lot of things, that this platform has been a place where our people has been educated enough for those that have ear to listen and they meditate what they heard from Radio Biafra and look towards around them and see what is going on around them. That also will help them, because in a life of humanity, there's something too essential. That is your eyes. If your eyes see something, it draws it to your brain, to your hand, to your nose, to wherever it will draw the attention. But first attracting thing is your eyes. Your eyes draw more attention than any other thing. But it seems to me that people see things with their eye, but they fail to understand it. That is ignorant. Meanwhile, you have elaborated a lot of things concerning Europeans, changing of 1884. In that year, they did a lot of things in Berlin. Even that year is where they went to USA, Los Angeles, and decided that the line of Equator should be zero latitude, and the zero longitude should be in London, Greenwich, instead of where it's supposed to be in Biafra land. That is what I've been doing. And Biafrans all over the world, Igbos, Biafrans, black people, they have paid a lot of price on this planet. They have paid a lot of price. It's time. I'm just angry with the conditions, not only Britain, the Europeans. They want more than what they suppose. They want a lot in Africa. And I think the time has come where they will redeem themselves from all this rubbish that they are doing in Africa. You take everything that people has and subjugate them. Make sure that you impose leadership that it doesn't function. The monetary system today they introduce in the world today is against Africa. Even the monetary system alone. No currency in Africa that can do international transaction. If you take Naira to Europe, nobody recognize it. If you take even South African money to Europe, nobody recognize it. If you take even the CFA that France even give them, nobody recognize it. So this is economic strangulation they are doing to Africa. And this has led to me to understand that the monetary system that was introduced is also to hold Africa down, because when these people came during the trade by barter, what do they bring in exchange? To take what we have. They take gold and give our people kai or gogoro drink, hot drink. They took gold and give you hot drink. They took resources you have and give you gun. And once they see that people are opening their eye and understand that what they are giving them is meaningless to them, they might introduce money. And that's where we are today. They introduce World Bank in order to subjugate Africa. All these things is to subjugate Africa. Black people mainly. They introduce a traveling system, document traveling system, but when they came to Africa, they have no documents. They have no document. They came to Africa as they wish. Today they introduce, if I'm to go to South Africa now, I have to obtain visa. Africa of my own. But I'm in Europe here. When I want to go to Greece from here, which is Southern Europe. I don't need any visa. All I need to buy my ticket and travel. If I want to go to Northern Europe, that is Denmark or Central Europe, I don't need to I don't need to obtain visa. All I need is to buy my ticket. But if I want to go to Morocco, which is Northern Europe, I need to obtain visa. All these things they are doing or they did in order to hold us down. And we have come to realize all these things. That is not for our own good. But the only way to redeem ourselves, because there is millions, thousands of ignorant people living on this planet. All they need is what concerns me, let me eat and die after all. But what we do is to restore Biafra, and from Biafra we march. Because we cannot redeem the whole of Africa at the same time. It is practically impossible because a lot of ignorance are wilding up. What IPOB has done, because in myself, when I wake up in the morning, any day I wish to pray Chukwu Okike Abiama. If I greet Chukwu Okike Abiama, the next person I will pray for is our leader, Mazi Nnamdi. After that, I pray for IPOB. The genuine ones, not generally, even the ones that are not genuine, they should change. Because what our people have been doing before, looking to the leaders, looking them eye to eye, thinking that they will change morally, that they will change by themselves. And after 30 years of looking at them, and they continue to impose over 30 years, no reasonable people has led Biafra lands. Since 30 years, no reasonable people, either socio-political organization or cultural one or Hanes or whatever.
50 years plus. 50 years plus. More than 30 years.
Yes.
Since after the war.
Just recently, so people absorb it just recently. Now,
hello, are you there? Oh, we seem to be battling with network. I hope. Hello? Are you there? Can you hear me? Okay, maybe he's going to call back because the network seems to be a little bit of a challenge. Network seems to be challenging. So maybe he's going to call back and complete what he was saying. He was saying some things that are nice and reasonable. Okay, but we must proceed. We must make progress. And it is very, very important that our people get to understand that this struggle has gotten almost the end of it. Hello.
No, that's it. Okay, my brother Terry, good morning.
Yeah.
I come back.
Okay. Continue.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I said you said 50 years. I know, but I just cut it short so that people will be able to absorb what I'm saying.
Yes.
If I say 50 years now, maybe some people will think it's olden days that things has changed. But let me just put it in this 30 years now. Even during this period, they have their useless democracy, which it doesn't exist. Now, these people that ruling us are the criminals, especially in the Igbo land now. They put all 419ers. All of them 419ers. So now, these people, the men that think that we will be able to help, to give at least make a change, contribute for the change, are looking at all these men, like the senators in the East and whatever House of Assembly, are looking at them, thinking that they will change by themselves to do a better thing for their people. And the criminal is always criminal. There's a big distance between the honest man and the criminal. So they can never readjust themselves. As long as what they want, their greediness is floating inside them. And they will continue doing what they're doing. And this is what IPOB, our leader, has laid down, that we have come to confront them and say no to that rubbish. If you, wherever you are, you're an IPOB member, wherever you are, remain resolute. Continue doing what you are doing. That's my advice, that we confront these people to the end, and we restore Biafra. And from Biafra, Africa will be restored. We will restore back to their senses and how they are. Because the Europeans has exploited Africa more than 2,000 years. We have suffered left trade this way. And now when you talk to some people, they tell you that it's the white people they benefit from them or whatever. They think that all the system they introduce is for our own benefit. It's for them, not for we. If you look at the World Bank they introduce, if African country go there and borrow money, he pay more than others pay. And that money you lend down there, they use it for certain things. But money is paper. You borrow me money. When I want to pay you back that money, you take resources. Why can't you take it and I give you back your money? Which your money cannot produce resources. So what they are doing in Africa is to give us paper in the name of money and take our food. If you have 100,000 at your home, you don't have any single cooked food, even uncooked one, and you are hungry, you are not going to chop the money. So that is exactly what they are doing to Africa. And we have to rise up. And the only way out is to get Biafra. And I will be happy our brother from Izon, from Ogoja and all this area, they will wake up and understand that there's something why we are seeking for Biafra. And when we get Biafra, everybody will enjoy it. We have our nation. Thank you, Mazi Torinu. And Machukwu Gama bless you. Continue to do your job. And God Elohim.
You say more power.
Thank you. That's nice. That's a very good contribution. We must save Biafra land first. We must save Biafra land first. You know, the Europeans woke up and decided to put everybody under their feet and control the whole systems. They allow, or will I say allow, they encourage our politicians to steal our money and go and put it in their banks in Europe. Let me take this caller. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you calling from?
I'm calling from Australia.
From where? Australia. Okay.
I have some issue to complain about Biafra.
The network is not clear and it seems like you are on the move because I can hear some. Oh, we lost him. Let us take this other caller. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you calling from?
Yes, Mazi Tarinami, the African rep. I remain Pastor Chris Wise. The reason of my call, I always expect your program on a daily basis, but I don't know your schedules. But I think at this very juncture, this very time, we should up our games, most especially to your people, most especially to your people. The upper land has been sanitized. The upper land has been, whether we like it or not, the upper land has been sanitized, and your area need more hands, need radio stations, and need a lot of equipment and upgradements on this very struggle. We cannot only be saying things on the radio. Like I said before, this time around, people are calling from upper land. That is good. And these are the people that used to call other radio stations. Use this, your program, to propagate these things. They said some people don't want to come. Some are complaining of network or phone or connections or what that. There are things we should remove from meat before we cook them and eat it. So let's start practicing it right now. This radio is Voice of the Coast and not Voice of the Upper Land. It is Radio Biafra actually, but the purpose of it right now, for my own understanding, is we want those of our brothers to start coming on there to talk to us, even in their language. Just what we don't hear, we want to hear them. We want to hear them. We'll be hearing voices of people that are calling. This is a usual caller from like me, like different platforms. So you use your good office to kind of propagate those coordinators in that very place. I'm not giving order, but this needful. This is a totally needful. This time around, we need their voices. We need them to come on there and anchor programs. Many of them are channeling their programs on Facebook. We don't want that. We want it to be in one command and control. So this is my own take on what I want to say today. We want program when you open it, your people will come around. You like most of the times you anchor program with the church. I like such a thing. People from that very area they anchor. You make it your programs. People for your jurisdiction will call and speak their languages. You build them up. Because when our people now are taking the positions of those of them right now, you may not even know the weight or the people that are listening to you, or if your what you are doing from the radio Voice of the Coast is yielding fruit. So give them that very space and give them that very time. Allow them to come on air. Allow them to do certain things we have, certain things we will see. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are already working on that, and we're already doing that. Like I told you, tomorrow we are going to continue, and some other of our people are going to come up and talk to us. Okay, so we are very much aware, and we are working seriously on that. So, like as I was saying, the Europeans, like what our previous caller said, the Europeans put up these structures for their benefits. Every development, everything that you see, they put it up for their benefit, and they control it very, very well in such a way that even no matter how much they have exposed you to it, they don't expose you to the secrets. So, at the end of the day, you are only a beggar nation. They encourage politicians, like as I was saying, to go and put money in their banks. They will steal money from here and send to their banks, to banks in Europe. That is where they bank and put their money, so that they cannot be traced here, so that they cannot be monitored here in Africa. And at the end of the day, when you need money, it is those same banks that are going to be borrowing you back the money that the politicians have put in the banks. So at the end of the day, it is just a cycle. The politicians steal money from the government, take it to Bank A. The government see there's no money. They come back and tell you that there's no money, they want to borrow. They go and borrow from their own money, from the bank, the same bank that they have already put money. And they steal again and go and borrow, and their own money keeps increasing. And these people, the bank keep increasing in interest. Let us take this call. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello, ever-reliable African rep, Mazi. Am I coming out loud and clear?
You are coming out loud and clear, and the world is listening.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. This is Mazi. I am calling from Abidjan, Ivory Coast. My purpose of calling this morning is just to contribute on my own views over what is happening in Biafra land. First and foremost, I thank you so much for all that you have been doing, for your teachings, for the things that you have been bringing to our memory which we never knew before, from the postal region, from the Voice of the Coast, from all the platforms that we have been learning. Our race, it's the river line and the coastal and hinterland people, knowing that we are one people, by tribe and everything. I thank you so much for uniting us once together again. What I want to say this morning is about these viral videos that has been going on over our senator Abaribe that is doing for campaign. I don't know what he's trying to do, but anyway, I don't have to say things that are not under my word. But for me, senator Abaribe doing for campaign, these people, despite that our leader Nnamdi has given order saying that there shall be no election. I don't see the reason why our ever-loving brother Abaribe should be campaigning with these Nigerian politicians, even in our own land where we have decided that shall be no election. What is he trying to do? I don't understand. But whatever he really wants to perform, all we know is that our leader Mazi must be free and Biafra must come. Secondly, sir, there is this video that has been going viral and people have been complaining, some are condemning, some are destroying the video, some are saying all sorts of things. So we need directions so that our people can be guided and know the right ways to follow. This video that's going on that they say that they are Biafra National Guard. I don't know much about them, but the information has been causing shenanigans about them in much platforms. Our people are trying to be guided for them to know the kind of information they share, and for them to know where to go and where not to go. So please, sir, we would like some kind of local direction over these people's activity so that we shall know measures to take to avoid everybody being misled or misguided. Thank you very much, sir. I don't have much to contribute today. I say my God continue to strengthen you. God, we are giving you the wisdom to be broadcasting. We shall continue to guide you and protect you, provide for you and give you the strength to continue on this way until Biafra is achieved. Finally, our leaders shall be free and Biafra must come. In the name of God.
You see? Concerning the Biafra National Guard, that is not a security outfit that is put by our leader. I do not know. I think my voice is re-echoing. Maybe you can continue to listen from there. Thank you. I do not know it, and the leadership of IPOB, the DOS, have not in any way told us anything about Biafra National Guard. So whatever you see or find anywhere concerning anything that is Biafra National Guard, you better just ignore it. I do not think it's coming from the leadership, except the leadership comes up, except maybe Mazi Chikaidoze, the head of the Directorate of States, come up to tell us that Biafra National Guard is this or is that. We better ignore it because the DSS can put up any name, bring up anything just to cause distraction among our people and to misguide our people. Okay, so anybody that is coming to propagate any name that is not ESN is on his own. Okay, so we have to be properly guided and we have to know what to do and how to go about it. And that should bring us to the close of today's program. My name remains Kumawe Tarinemi, and this is Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. This is Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Thank you very much for listening. I want to encourage you to continue to do the good works that you've been doing, and Elohim will continue to guide and protect you. You see? You see?
I am not a Nigerian. I renounced everything to do with Nigeria on or around December of 2015. I am a Biafran and I hold British citizenship. Only upon a clear pronouncement of the intentions of that very court, which I suggest to them, should be free of any interference from the executive, will this very case move forward. The circumstances surrounding the invasion of my house, the invasion of the home of His Royal Majesty, is Israel Okukan. You must know that my father's name is Israel, and it means a lot. Going forward, there must be guarantees by the international community so that this case can proceed, and I will prove once and for all that there is something fundamentally wrong with the brain of those that run Nigeria, because I will demolish them in a court of law. For now, let me restate my position that I committed no offenses known to law. What they're charging me with doesn't exist, and they know it. I have no weapon. My only weapon is a microphone. And my courage that Chukwu Kabiama gave me. But it's up to those who persecute me to see reason to call their troops home. Let me state also categorically that IPOB worldwide is committed to the liberation of the land of Biafra from the shackles of tyranny. And we will not relent until a referendum is conducted. If you want us to do anything with you, if you want us to conduct any form of participation in whatever it is that you're doing, there must be a referendum to decide the quest for self-determination for Biafrans. That is our red line. It is not negotiable. We intend to achieve our goal through any means recognized by national and international laws. My fellow Biafrans, my compatriots, please indulge me to sincerely thank the State of Israel, the persecuted Jewish community in Biafra land, and Israel, and worldwide, who through their prayers and actions contributed in no small measure in assuring my physical safety and well-being. May Chukwu Kabiama bless the land of Biafra. May Chukwu Kabiama bless the land of Israel. Our destiny is before us, and nothing is going to alter that very path.
When they went to one,
Southeast and South,
that if I knew Granny was calling Buhari, then Buhari refused to take his call. Go and check it until the Fulanis finished massacring our people there. What did you do? Nothing. And you think that under my watch I'm going to allow the Fulani Janjaweed to overrun our land? We will all die. I told you that I'm coming, that I'll bring hell with me. You think I've forgotten? Anything I tell I'm going to do it. And I will come. And I will bring hell with me. Because nobody is going to stop us. Nobody is going to stop us. Everywhere there is kidnapping, everywhere you go to, bandits are killing. Just Google it, it's in the news. Every blessed day, people are dying. People are being kidnapped. Every blessed day. And some idiots are getting up and talking about one Nigeria. Do you see how foolish some idiots are? You are talking about one Nigeria when in Oturubo there is a Sadwana in Oturubo. All of us must understand this, that Eastern Security Network has come to stay. It's not going anywhere. Everybody in the international community is aware of our sensitization efforts. And now the world understands that the main perpetrators of violent attacks against our people, against everybody, including even some Fulani peasants, are extremists from the north, spearheaded by the Fulani Caliphate. Before the coming of IPOB, the Fulani, through the aid of British government and their Zoom media that they control, have always lied about the reality of events in the zoo. Everything is farmer header clash, farmer header clash. These are people taking over the land of the indigenous populations. This left the international community confused for very many years until we came and spent a whole lot of money on our consultants in Washington. It is not hidden. The Department of Justice in America has the details of our contract, and somebody will rise up and say, oh, but where are they spending all the money? Ask him what they're doing with it. The idiots, some fools who are aware of our financial commitments all over the world. That was when I knew that some people are satanic. Some people are I don't know where they came from to even join IPOB in the first place. Department of Justice in America has our contract, which the zoo, Karaba Sheikh, has been talking about for very many years. Is there how much we pay them on a monthly basis? And some people are evil by nature. Evil, it's not going to deter us. We'll continue to move. Are you aware that in Enugu, a Fulani man shot dead a traditional ruler wearing a police uniform? This is the one Nigeria they want to belong. This is one Nigeria. Go and tell the family of that traditional ruler about one Nigeria. A policeman, because he's a Fulani. Can you imagine an Igbo man, constable or inspector, going to the north and killing an emir? What do you think will happen? They will kill every Igbo person in that state. But in Enugu, because you people, you allow them, these insults you're receiving is because of, your envy. An Igbo man is very envious by nature. Very envious to the point of destruction. Now look at the Igwe they have killed, the Eze they killed in Enugu. What is going to happen? Nothing. Because you have women, I wouldn't insult women, please forgive me. You have wretched, lily-livered cowards as your political leaders. I ask you this question. Do you think an Igbo policeman can go to the north and go to storm a village and kill an emir? Is that possible? No. But it's happening in your land. And you open your dirty mouth to say you're a Nigerian. God punish you. Punish you now and punish you forever. In the one Nigeria, mad people everywhere. Bandits from Mali are trying to enter Nigeria through Oyo, Makinde. Who hasn't heard that? So you want me to remain in Biafra land and allow people from Mali to come to my village and build a settlement in my village from Mali? Let me say what is going to happen this year. We will start with the saboteurs in our land. I'm telling you the truth. Anytime, start anyone that collaborates with DSS to issue a statement, bring the person's name and the address. I'm saying it live on air. When it will start happening in our land, I will be in The Hague, very close to ICC. They don't need to write any letter to me. Once they say come, I'll just walk in. Anybody from today onwards, anytime you read a statement, we are against ESN, we are against Eastern Security Network, get us the name of that person and the village he comes from and his address, and you hear what will happen to the idiot. You hear what happened to them. Have you not seen or read what is going on here? People from Mali. From Mali, are you telling me that I should allow, Omahi is telling me that I should allow people from Mali under the guise of Fulani to come in Mazi and build a settlement? Like, what type of God made you people, for goodness sake? Are you people human beings at all? You idiots it is here. It is not from Radio Biafra. It is not from any Biafra-friendly publication. This is from Premium Times, a Fulani newspaper publication. Bandits, terrorists from Mali, they come to Izi and Ezar and build a settlement. And because Omahi wants to be vice president to whoever in 2023, because of that, I should allow a terrorist all the way from Mali to come and build settlement in Ebonyi State. Is that what you're saying to me? Is that what you're... No, let's be very clear. Is that what you're saying to me? Then tell me why thunder will not fire you. Just explain to me why God will not destroy you and your lineage. You hate yourself that much? Do you see the idiotic governors that you have? These are the idiots, the wretched fools that you have. That is why Biafra is going to... We don't care how long it takes. We don't care. We are going to keep fighting until Biafra is restored, or we all die. If Biafra doesn't come, we all perish. And I will lead it from the front. And when it happens, I will tell you I'm here, leading this very battle from the front. If you're nursing this idea of your stupid one Nigeria, may thunder consume you. May thunder that has not clapped yet consume, lightning and thunder consume you. You have seen that the zoo is a cesspit of evil. You don't go to school. You don't have electricity. You don't have running water. You allow them to divide you all the time. All the time. I don't know why you people are not mentally tough. Look at the NSAS. They brought in religion. They brought in tribe. And all of you fell apart. Some stupid journalists in Lagos, idiotic Yoruba journalists in Lagos, tell that nonsense. Igbos are destroying our properties. And all of you just capitulated and fell apart. That means you are not ready for a revolution. You don't want your lives to change. Because in a revolution, there is no other side consideration apart from the goal and the mission in front, which is freedom. It's a Christians against Muslims, Jews against the Christians. He said he wants to bring Judaism. We are Christians, so we are Seventh-day Adventist Church. He is from Assemblies of God Church. You allow yourselves to be divided. That means you are not ready to make that move towards freedom. That was how NSAS fell apart last year. Just like that. You allow them to divide you. Every time, the same thing they are trying to do in Biafra land, the same thing they have done for years. No, Igbo is not Igbo. Igbo is not Igbo. And from Anyama is not Igbo. You keep allowing yourselves to be divided, whereas those dividing you are bringing their brothers from Mali. Do you see how foolish you are? Do you see how stupid and idiotic you are? I'm not Igbo. I'm from Niger Delta. Look at me, a lawyer for that matter. But the person telling him to say he is not Igbo is bringing their own people from Senegal, from Gambia, from Mali to come and build settlement in LL. Are you aware of that? These are people that claim they were. You know, when a Biafran claimed they went to school and a lawyer, you know the person is a complete animal and a complete fool. The person telling you to say your name is Niger Delta, I'm Niger, I'm South. He is busy bringing, uniting Fulani in Niger Republic, in Cameroon, in Chad, in Mali. Why can't your brain ever tell you something? Because we are very foolish. Oh, this is a New Year's message. What we are saying this year is that we are going to intensify our efforts to flush out. They will try us, so don't think they will not come. They will come. Of course, they will try us. Forget all that razzmatazz, flying, a deadbeat helicopter flying all over the air rubbish. We are waiting for them to commit their men on the ground. You know, it is very easy for them. The mistake, not the mistake I made, what we should have done when I left prison in 2017 is to go into a bush. You know, they specialize in killing civilians and burning down houses. That's what they do. Once they're in the bush, they can't come in. If you're fighting Boko Haram in a savannah, in a grassland, you cannot defeat them. And you want to come into a rainforest to come. It took Britain 40 years. And the Sabotua, it took Britain 40 years, their court murder Sabotuas, to penetrate our land. 40 years. Imagine Buratai. Look at Buratai. He looks smelly. Now looking at him, he looks dirty. And you know he smells. By just smelling, he looks physically, his physical appearance, you will know he's a very filthy idiot. Look at Buratai. Something that took Britain 40 years, our fathers, when there was no internet, when people could not go and learn how to build an explosive within 5 minutes. It took them 40 years to move from Calabar to Otubo. 40 years. Then let Buratai come. Let me make one thing very clear. Fulani, they are very foolish, they will come. Expansionism is in their blood. They want to take other people's territory. That is how they are wired genetically. But telling me that Fulani can come from Mali to come and take our land, kill my sister, rape my mother, kill my sister, and do settlement in the name of one Nigeria. It won't happen, no. It won't happen. And all these idiots, because of presidencies, I turn to go and chop. Obasanjo was president for 8 years. Are Yorubas having fun? All of you idiots with your stupid, idiotic Igbo presidency. For 8 years, you are clamoring for presidency because you want to go and eat your own. It's your turn. Maybe one of these idiotic criminals can get in there. You start eating, you start traveling and living large. You are dreaming. Seriously, all of you are dreaming. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen until it happens. But I know that the idiots are coming. And when they come, it is a lesson of their lives. And no Sabo will go free. Don't think you're Sabo, all these idiots born under Ojolegba Bridge, writing rubbish from Lagos. You detribalized idiot. We will find you in that place where you are. We will find you where you are. This year will be a year of cleansing our land of Sabo. Cleansing. That thing that will happen in 2033, let it happen now. That ICC, let us all go there. Because if I go to ICC, they will ask me to bring people to testify, either for or against me. Isn't it? Well, then we'll call witnesses then from the zoo. Sabo is a problem in our land, and it's about time that they're dealt with. I'm saying it live so the whole world can hear. Sabo in our land must be dealt with henceforth. Because if if they make a phone call and there is nobody to pick their call, I'm sure they'll start listening very well. This nonsensical garbage called Nigeria must come to an end. We are going to fight for our freedom. We will keep fighting for our freedom until that freedom is attained, until we get it. There is no two ways about it. We are not going to stop. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever, until Biafra is restored. Then our work is done. I want us to be very, very vigilant. They will do they're changing their SIM card. All this nonsense is because of Biafra agitation. They think they can cage everybody. And what pains me is that most of the journalists in Nigeria, I don't know from which planet they came from, some of them, hardened agents of oppression, serving Fulani, or without knowing they're serving Fulani, they think they're having fun, writing rubbish. Not think they're serving Fulani. The journalists in the zoo called Nigeria must sit up, write objectively and the truth. If because you want Tinubu to become president so you can benefit, because of that, you don't want to do the war to be independent. Because of that, you don't want Biafra to be independent. Let me, as somebody quite rightly said a while back, all of them, from Ibi, from Fulani, be you from Biafra, be you from Oduduwa, all their political class, they are in it because of what they can gain, not because they love you. It's because of their turn. It's like a cozy old boys network. They know what they're doing. Ordinary people are suffering. Their own children are going to school abroad, having fun, the best medical care, and you are an idiot with 2,000 naira data supporting them. Had French people behaved the way that you're behaving in the zoo called Nigeria, do you think that France would be developed? France, they had. I keep telling you this all the time. This Yoji, I don't know why they don't understand it. You can never go forward without a revolution. France had it. Britain, you see, United Kingdom, revolution was there, led by Oliver Cromwell. In America, George Washington led a revolution. In Russia, there was a revolution. In China, Chairman Mao led a revolution. Everywhere in the world that people have moved forward, there was a revolution. But in your own case, ESN, don't even try it. There is no law. Which law established Fulani banditry? Somebody will come and be raping your wife and you're quoting the law. You're quoting the law. But anyway, some of you take your mothers and go and do ritual. So you don't have any soul anymore. You live in Abuja and you live in Lagos. You people you have no soul. You're not human. You are not human anymore. After all, if you can use your mother to do ritual, who won't you sell out? Who will you not sell out? What is a flavors in Lagos and in Abuja? Talking about the every blessed day. You think you can bring down IPOB? Oh dear. How foolish some people are. With that, we have come to the end of our program this very evening. As I said before, there are many things we are doing we are not at liberty to announce live on air. A lot of things are happening. and we're moving forward. But you know that any great army in this world marches on its stomach. For us to sustain ESN, they have to eat. We have to clothe them. Every blessed day, they have to look very neat. They are in our bushes fighting to protect our heritage and our homeland. And we must support them. We must. All the way from Cross River to Edo State, we must support them to defend our land. Or else, they are coming from Mali. Don't say I didn't warn you. Sadwana of Oturubo, maybe very soon there'll be Sadwana of Benin City, or Sadwana of Ishekiri, or Sadwana of Yenegoa. Then you know you've arrived. You see Wike, he's a dead man walking. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, when Facebook, of course, it doesn't matter what Facebook does. This year is going to be very remarkable. It's going to be an open hunting season for saboteurs this year, because Biafra must come, because Chukwukika Abiyama said so. Wherever you are around the world, you must remain resolute, determined, and very firm in your belief that Biafra is your right. Biafra existed before Britain was created by Norman conquerors, and it shall exist again. And with it, freedom for all in Black Africa and beyond. Until next time, from me, from here, it is good evening. Wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are. On the face of this very planet Earth, we welcome you to a very somber Radio Biafra live broadcast on this very day, the remembrance of the Asaba massacre that happened on this same day, the 7th of October in 1967, during the era of genocide, what I prefer to call our own Holocaust in Biafra. Today we remember those that died. Today, we remember those that perished, and we are going to honor them. We are going to remember them. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you, depending on where you are domiciled around the world. We are live, we are direct, and we are coming to you via a variety of platforms on 102.2, 102.1 FM, CHK, across the length and breadth of Biafra land. We are on Radio Biafra app. We are also on satellite, and we are coming to you via Radio Biafra page on Facebook. Wherever you are and whatever you are doing, we ask you to please abandon it, get your pen and your paper, and come along with a dose of common sense, that we may do that which is right before the sons of men on this very earth and Elohim in heaven. Here we propagate this very gospel of redemption. We preach the truth and nothing but the truth, because we remain whiter than white and whiter than snow. Our mission is very simple: to restore Biafra, or we die restoring Biafra. We will not retreat an inch, neither are we going to surrender. Our mission, our purpose is to make sure that a very viable, beautiful, civilized country called Biafra is established in Africa. And that we must accomplish, not through any strength of ours or through any extraordinary intelligence nor intellect, but purely by the grace of the Most High, that we submit to very humbly every day of our lives. As I said, today is a very sad day, a day that will remain in infamy forever and ever, when our people were executed in Asaba for no other reason than the fact that they are Biafrans, and we have been suffering ever since. That is why we have insisted that our security and our well-being as a people can only be guaranteed within a free and prosperous Biafra, away from the damnable zoological republic, away from the evil and darkness, the mediocrity and the lawlessness of the zoo. And that also we must accomplish in our time. We must make sure that Biafra is restored in keeping with our promise to those that have gone before us. If not for any other thing, those of us who happen to domicile in Delta State must understand, appreciate, absorb, and reflect upon what happened to every grown male child in Asaba on this very day, nearly 52 years ago. We must proceed very speedily this evening. As I said before, if you do not have a pen and paper with you, you are doing yourself a great disservice, because this evening, this gospel will be propagated. This very evening, we shall enlighten. This very evening, we shall illuminate. This very evening, we shall bring to the fore that which they have hidden from us. For the truth shall prevail, because our only weapon is truth and steadfastness. If this is your first time of joining us, endeavor to tell those around you to join Radio Biafra this evening by tuning in. Also ensure that you join the nearest IPOB family closest to you, because we are the largest movement, the largest mass movement of its kind anywhere on this very planet, dedicated to the restoration of Biafra. And that is exactly what we are going to do. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the Indigenous people of Biafra. And by the grace of Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra, I welcome you this evening. For some of you in far-flung places like California in USA, I know it is approximately 6 minutes past, either 10 or 11 a.m., I do not know. For those of you in Japan, I think it is about the same number of minutes, about 6 past. I believe it should be 2 or 3 a.m. in Japan. The same thing with Indonesia and also in Australia and in all these places that are IPOB families. And if you're listening to us from there, please endeavor to find one and join, because here we say what we are going to do and we do what we preach. On this very hallowed platform, I welcome you, and we must pray, because this evening we have a lot to get through. The arrests are continuing. The Fulani terrorists are attacking us at a place called Izi in Ebonyi, where Dave Umahi is presiding over what I would not call an influx of Fulani jihadists, but an army of darkness intent on invading and occupying our land. As I'm speaking to you this very evening, there is very serious engagement going on in that part of the world, because they are all struggling to become the next Igbo president of the zoo. And because of that, they have to mortgage our land. Because of that, they have invited their friends to occupy our land, our farms, and our forests. And we are not going to allow that to happen. And they know it very well. And they're also getting it very hot from us. There will be no phoning this evening, but I'm sure in the coming days I shall endeavor to make sure that each time I am on air, that you will get the opportunity to air your views and exchange ideas with me and with our listeners all over the world. We must pray this very evening. We must pray in remembrance of every family that was affected, which means every family within Asaba was affected by the massacre of nearly 52 years ago. Very, very sad indeed. It was a very dark chapter in our history. Those who say that they are Delta Igbo, perhaps this history is lost on you. Of course, they don't teach history in the schools, in the zoo. But this evening, we shall enlighten you, bring to your knowledge the things that happened that they have been hiding from all of us. If you are not Biafrans in Delta, why would they line up our men in Asaba and slaughter all of them in broad daylight? The man who carried out the massacre is one Ibrahim Taiwo. Very, very sad indeed. But we must proceed, and for us to do so, we must invite the grace of the Most High to be upon us. We must do that which is right before God Almighty in heaven. Eternal Father, you created us in your own image and likeness, but sin and wickedness has warped the minds of men, and throughout the damnable zoological republic Nigeria, these are not the things that you created. You never created Nigeria. Nigeria is a man-made creation. That is why it will come to an end. We beseech thee this evening to give us the strength, the courage, the wisdom, and the fortitude to endure all that we have been through, all that we are passing, likely to encounter in time to come, because we know that freedom is not cheap. We know that freedom never ever comes on a platter. We know it has to be taken. We know it needs to be fought for. And that is everything that we are doing within our powers to ensure that your will is done upon the lives of your children. The world at large is watching, but from it comes no justice. There is no justice. What we have is injustice and brutal disregard for the rights of other people to exist as only you, Elohim, intended. You, Almighty Creator, you created Biafra and placed your people within it, which our haters renamed to Asaba, was the land that you gave to your children, and in it we shall dwell for eternity. We call upon thee, Heavenly Father, on this very day, for your grace to dwell upon us, for your mercy to abide with us always. Protect all the men and women that live within Asaba on this very day. Those are our mothers that we are left without husbands. Those are our mothers that we are left without any sons. Please, Father, protect them. Those that we are widowed as a result of the wickedness of the Nigerian army against those that you made in your image. Please protect them. Oh Lord, when you are excluded from the hearts of men, we become unconscionable. The inevitable result is that people suffer, and we are suffering. There is so much injustice and corruption taking place in Nigeria today, not only in the lives of individuals, but also in the corridors of power and the council rooms of many states. We pray, Elohim, that you will right all the wrongs that have been done to your children. You will right every wrong in this very world and vindicate those of us who are being treated unjustly. Keep us, Father, from taking matters into our own hands, for vengeance is yours and yours alone. Only thee, O Lord, in your grace and mercy we pray that you will give justice and peace to all those that have been cruelly and unfairly treated by their fellow man. And may injustice and carelessness that we Biafrans have had to endure become the means to draw us ever closer into your saving arms of grace. Grant us, O Elohim, a vision of your Biafra, as your love would have it, a world where the weak are protected and none will go hungry or poor, a world where the riches of your creation are shared and everyone can enjoy them, a world where different cultures and opinions can live in harmony and mutual respect, a world, a Biafra, where peace is built with justice and justice is guided by love. Give us the inspiration and courage to build it, this hallowed land of Biafra, through your grace and the blood shed in Asaba. We pray unto thee now and forevermore. He said, we must proceed, having prayed and committed ourselves into the loving arms of Elohim. This very gospel this evening will be preached. Some may not like it. Some are averse to the truth. But this truth we must preach. As I said earlier, if you have your pen and paper handy, that will be absolutely marvelous, because this is the finest university anywhere on this very earth, insofar as the study, understanding of the brain of a black man is concerned. This is the platform for you to come to. Between the 2nd and October the 7th of 1967, men in Nigerian army uniforms, they became beasts. They became wild animals and committed crimes against God in heaven and humanity at large. More than 5,000 people, conservatively speaking, we are rounded up in Asaba and brutally mowed down by the machine guns supplied by the British government. We have been suffering, or should I say we had been suffering before then. We have continued to suffer up until this very day, because they hate us. Our enemies despise us because we are blessed. They do not want us to survive as a race. They do not want us to live in freedom, in liberty, and in justice. That is why they came after us, and that is why they will continue to come after us. Conservatively speaking, over 5,000 people were slaughtered in Asaba from soldiers of the 2nd Division, led by Murtala Mohammed, but the man who supervised the senseless slaughter of innocent people, the singular act of the greatest genocide ever performed on the continent of Africa. Or should I call it the second Holocaust? After that, endured by the Jews in Europe. The man responsible for this gruesome and heinous act is a Yoruba man. His name is Ibrahim Taiwo. They lined up our people. Every able-bodied man in Asaba was killed in one single day. That means that our mothers were left without sons, and our wives were made widows. This Ibrahim Taiwo, serving under the command of Murtala Mohammed, became a widow maker and made women childless. This they don't teach you in schools. That is why I feel very sad when I hear people from Ahaba, that is the proper name of Asaba, of course, talk about Biafra in such a condescending manner. I get repulsed by it because they do not understand history. For reasons best known to our enemies, they have decided to keep the truth away from the people of Delta. And that truth is being revealed this evening. The general officer commanding the GOC of the division was Murtala Mohammed. His operational headquarters was at Umunede. Umunede, that is the name. It's an Igbo name with Igbo people in it. Umunede. It was from there that Taiwo went on his killing spree with his men. They entered into Asaba, and the Holocaust commenced in Asaba. If you're from Asaba, of course, that is the proper name, and you say you are not part of IPOB, you're not part of Biafra, may shame befall you and your family for eternity, because you are blind and you know nothing. This man called Ibrahim Taiwo entered into Asaba and the Holocaust began. There's a place called Oweke Square, St. Joseph's Catholic Church. For those that know, these were the places that the massacres took place. Anywhere they go to, they ask the men to come out. That the war had ended. People will come out. They will line up the men and they will kill all of them. The Europeans don't want to talk about it. The Americans will not talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about what we went through as a people. I repeat, in modern history, that was the second most gruesome Holocaust that any group ever had to go through after the Jews. But nobody wants to talk about it. If you guys are about Rwanda and Rohingya, this was a place where Britain and some parts of the world decided that this race must be wiped away from the face of the earth. That is why when I hear people talking about Igbo presidency, I feel sorry for them. When a road is good, you use it more than once. We have been there before. He was paid with his life. Azikiwe was relegated and disgraced into the office of Governor General and later became a ceremonial president, just drinking tea all over the place. You people never learn. You never learn anything from history. That is why IPOB is here, to remind you of who you are, where you're coming from, and where you're going. Our sight, our destination is freedom. That freedom can be found in Biafra, nowhere else. Not in a zoo, not in a restructured Nigeria, not in a regionalized Nigeria, not in a constitutionally sound Nigeria. No, it is within Biafra and Biafra alone. And that's what we're going to. Some of you may be persuaded by the allure of modern primitive politics in Nigeria. The syndrome of it is my turn, let us go and chop our turn. It will not happen, not under our watch. It won't happen. If you reflect upon what happened in Asaba, you will understand how much they hate you. For you to appreciate how you are hated within, for you to understand how much they hate you, you need to understand Asaba massacre. Only then will you appreciate it, how much you're hated. And that is why they keep suppressing it. Nobody wants to talk about it. It concerns the Biafran race. It concerns the Igbo people. Why talk about it? It concerns the Efik and the Jaws. Are we not suffering? Are we not all suffering? Who is having fun? Are the Islam people having fun? The one that they call a job? Are they having fun? I'm asking. They carved us, part of us, and put us in Ondo State. Part of Ijoland is in Ondo State. Of course, they will come with us. We can't leave them. We are in a mess in the zoo. And the sooner we understand this, the better for everybody. As no when you're rejected by others, you don't reject yourself. Listen to what happened in Asaba, 7th of October, 1967, for you to appreciate that from birth, from your mother's womb, you have been hated and marked for destruction. They hate you. Why do you think I hate Nigeria so passionately? Because they hate us. They want us all dead. If they can, that was their plan during the war. Our brave Biafran soldiers stopped them. They wanted to kill everybody. What Ibrahim Taiwo did in Asaba, they wanted to do everywhere. They want to kill everybody up to the age of 10, every male child. And then they will force them into the Al-Majri Islamic ways, and that will be the end of us as a people. Our soldiers said no. They kept fighting. They kept fighting until some measure of truce was negotiated, because we never surrendered. Effiong never surrendered. That is a historical fact. A truce was negotiated and instruments of surrender signed. We never capitulated in the battlefield. That is something you must understand. And this generation of IPOB is 100% more stubborn than those that fought. This is 7 and 70. And here is the reason why. They hate us. They want to kill us. If they have an opportunity, they will keep killing us. And I want everybody in Biafra land to understand this. If you're Ogoni, if you're Izon, if you're Ibibio, if you're Efik, you need to understand this. Death awaits us all in the hands of these people and our children, unless we rise up now to do something about it. I'll continue to tell you what happened. There's a place called Obeke Square, St. Joseph's Catholic Church, St. Patrick's College, a place called Cable Point. There's a place called Obe, Osowa. All these places, massacres took place of unarmed. That was where they learned it from, to kill people who are not armed. That is their specialty. That is the specialty of the Nigerian military. To kill unarmed civilians. That is what they specialize in. They have never won any war before outside. That they had the upper hand in the war against Biafra was because Britain was supporting them. Britain said nobody should supply arms to any of the parties fighting that very war. But through the back, Britain negotiated with Russia to be supplying arms to Nigeria. Meanwhile, Britain was busy enforcing blockade that led to the famine that killed millions of people. That is a historical fact. If we had level playing ground to execute that very war, there will be nothing called Nigeria today. But that is analysis for another day. Let us proceed. Families were wiped out. The family of the Ojogus lost 10 members. Mike, Joe, Chukwuji, Moses, Omoham, Sam, Simon Oliver, Naji, and many more. No one was left. They will go into a family, there will be no one left in that very family. And do you know why they were doing it? Do you know why this Yoruba man did this? Because as I told you before, just like Tinubu, the Yoruba Muslims are the worst. An average Yoruba man is a very fine, erudite, urbane, sophisticated fellow. But when you enter into Kwara State and its environs, Ilorin, you encounter Yoruba Muslims. They are the problem. This man was killing people and slaughtering everybody in Delta. Once they came in, all the way from Ebanke, Iwakri, they kept killing and killing, village after village. We are wiped out completely by these people. Because Nzob is from Panama. Nzob is from Delta State. So how dare Nzob kill Ahmadu Bello, Sadwana. A Yoruba man was now fighting a Fulani war for them. He wanted the same thing that Tinubu is doing today was what this man did 52 years ago. His name is Ibrahim Taiwo, just like Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The same breed of vampires, the same breed of doing everything to please the caliphate. They want to please them. He wants to be seen as a loyal Yoruba servant of the caliphate. He said to Motala, leave me, let me go and kill the Hebrews, let me go and kill the Biafrans. As soon as they came in, they started killing. I'm giving you the names of the places where our people were slaughtered, where they killed our people in Asaba and surrounding areas as well. Even the Okonji or Iwalafa, it is too much. The names are here. I'm telling you, I don't know. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. I'm telling you. Even Miriam Babangida, the wife of Bongo Zikwe that Babangida took after that encounter. The father was also killed. The father of Miriam Babangida was killed, and Babangida took the daughter. That's how bad it is. The same thing that Omahi and the governors are doing today, giving them the unfettered access into our land. Take whatever you want. All I want is the presidency. Make me vice president. You can come to our land and do anything you like. I don't hate any of them from Adam, but I hate what they are doing to our people and to our land. Our land is sacred. Biafra is not like any other place on this earth. That land is holy. That land is sacred. That is why I say to our people, some of the things that you do, even within Biafra land or outside, you must reflect upon it, because you're a special breed of people. You are so unique. There is no other group like you anywhere on this earth. Understand this very clearly. That is why the ancients say Metumaribe. That's the meaning of it. There are some things that you do, be it within Biafra land or anywhere you're domiciled around the world, you must remember how unique you are as an individual coming from a very special race. That is why they hate us, because they know we are special. No other reason. They know we are blessed. They know that scientists are born, they don't have to go to school. They know that very well. We are the only people capable of doing something that no other group can do in Africa. I said no other group can do it. What we are capable of doing. That is why they hate us. They killed Miriam Babangida's father, and Babangida took Ndidi. Took the daughter. Unbelievable, isn't it? It is crazy. There is one Sydney Asiodu who was in Lagos, well known. He was an athlete and moved to UNN and was studying zoology. He represented Nigeria at the Tokyo 1964 Olympic Games. It's unbelievable. He was also killed. And as you know, as with what Dave Omahi and Obiano, what the governors are doing today was there then. He had an elder brother, his name is Philip, as you do. He was the permanent secretary at the Federal Ministry of Industries. I want our people to listen very carefully this evening. I want to tell you where the problems are, how you can identify them, and how you can get rid of them. You know, that's what they do. They promise you something or they give you a position. In defense of that very position, even if they're killing your brother, you say, don't kill him. Because if you leave him, he will spoil something for us. Even he went to 1964 Tokyo Olympic Games to represent the zoo called Nigeria. Do you know that they killed him in the Asaba massacre? And his senior brother was the permanent secretary, Federal Ministry of Industries. It is unbelievable, isn't it? There's something they're doing today. In return for your land, basically, in return, if you want to become, they're saying is the turn of the Igbos. So if you want to become the president, they want you to give them our land, as Umahi is doing in Ebonyi. There is a war going on in Ebonyi right now as I speak. And we are meeting them head on, of course. And they know it very well. And right now, as I'm speaking, we are engaging them in Ebonyi as I speak. We are engaging them right now as I speak. Some of you don't know this, and I'm not supposed to say it, but sometimes some of you think that, oh, what are they doing? They're not doing anything. We are protecting you. That Ebonyi has not fallen, that Enugu has not fallen is because of IPOB. As I'm on air this evening speaking and preaching this very divine gospel, we are stopping them in Ebonyi state right now, this very second. IPOB sacrificing our lives to make sure that the promise that is Biafra is fulfilled in our lifetime. Some people don't understand. There is not something you play out on social media. We are engaging our enemies that have come to take our land from us. And out of frustration, they went and slaughtered some families today in Izi. It is happening right now as I'm live. Ask Umahi, and Umahi will confirm it right now that there is war going on in Ebonyi. Some of you do not know because hopelessly and foolishly you were busy watching Big Brother or Little Brother, I don't know what you call it. That is how hopeless some of you are. That your land is being ravaged. We are being overwhelmed, so to speak. People don't know what IPOB stands for. They don't know what it means. They think we have come to joke and to play. We have come to defend our land. We have come to restore Biafra. Or we die restoring Biafra. There is no two ways about it. Our people were killed, slaughtered, maimed in Asaba and everywhere else around. What did we do? Nothing. Our crime is that Chukwukikabiama blessed us, made us very successful. Everywhere around the zoo called Nigeria, we were successful. It was an Igbo man, Nzogu, who wanted one Nigeria to be a better place that got us into this mess. So when people are talking about presidency, Igbo presidency, just say to them, have you people come again? It was your one Nigeria stupidity, your misplaced nationalism that got us into the mess we are in today. From Azikiwe to Ironsi to Zobo, they put us in this mess we are in today. And they have come again now with their useless presidency. It can never be well with them. It is very, very strange, but that was what happened. A lot of people perished. A lot perished and died in Asaba because that was how our enemies wanted it. Therefore, for those of you who think there is hope for we Biafrans in Nigeria, not minding the Asaba massacre, the newly released list of designated points to install toll gates in Nigeria should serve to remind you, in fact all of us, that this Biafra restoration being piloted by IPOB is the only way out of the misery and bondage that the zoo Nigeria has become for us. It's a death trap for us. I watched the footage of Anambra, I think it was Owerri Road the other day. It was raining. It felt like River Niger in full flow. I bet you that if anyone were to step into that very fast-moving surface water, they'll be swept away. That's Anambra State. But some of you support the governor of the state. That is one thing that is seriously distressing me. That we are now becoming like Halamajiri. We now celebrate mediocrity and criminality because you're getting something from the master's table. The same thing that the Fulanis did to them, they're now doing to us. And some of you foolishly are falling for it, but not IPOB, thankfully. Before I delve more into the substance of what the remaining part of what we have to bring this evening, I must remind those of you, listen carefully. Let me repeat, I must remind those of you clamoring for Igbo presidency that you are wasting your time. IPOB is dedicated to the restoration of Biafra, and no amount of idle gossip or paid advertorial by sycophantic praise singers, or should I say inconsequential political errand boys, will detract IPOB from our march to freedom. It doesn't matter how many journalists you pay 4,600 naira to be writing press statement for you. It's inconsequential. We are not being moved. We want Biafra, not presidency. Understand this very clearly. From Azikiwe to Ironsi to Zobo, it was their desire to make Nigeria a better place for everybody that got us into these messes that led to the Asaba massacre 52 years ago. The world is watching. If we step into this presidential nonsense, we have lost every right to speak about Biafra in the terms we are doing at the moment. Understand that very clearly. All those errand boys cannot stop us or detract us from our march to freedom. This 4-year cycle of is our turn, misplaced optimism, is not for IPOB. No. We have listened to our people. I don't know when they said we should go and vote out Jubril. And I warned them that your PVCs, they have come again. Oh. That case is still in court. They have come again with their new program of Igbo presidency. There's always a new program. Always to keep you busy. So you will notice that you don't have any hospitals. You don't have any schools. You don't have any roads. Nothing is functioning. Nothing is working. All your eye is now fixated on 2099. Then you get an Igbo president. And then what happens after that? This is how foolish people are. Then what happens after that? So if the idiot goes to Asarok, he would be sharing money door to door every blessed day. Is that what you think? Are you that foolish? People are queuing up for visas to USA, to Europe, to UK, to Japan, to God knows where else. The president or prime minister of these countries that you're struggling to go to, are they from your village? What matters is the policies, not the individual. Not where they come from. You are struggling to go to America. Are you related to Trump? Are you from his village? Does he know who you are? Do you see how foolish we black Africans are? So somebody's from your and then so bloody what? Okay, Zipas is from Mumbai. But the police are in Mumbai burning down houses. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's from Mumbai. If this nonsense of it is our turn, let it be our man. If it is true, or to hold true, how come Zipas is from Mumbai? And in his village, the police are there arresting people, burning down houses. The army are abducting and killing people. But he's the governor of the state. So do you think that if an Igbo man becomes president of Nigeria, somehow your life will be better? No, it's only for them and their praise singers. That's all. And then you will come back to square zero, talking the same nonsense. over again after another 8 years. You people must be sick in the brain, not for IPOB. So I am sounding this note of warning in advance. In advance. Of course, our hope and fervent prayer is that Biafra will be here before then. Presidency, we must continue. The 4-year cycle of misplaced optimism is not for IPOB. The politics of turn by turn is the turn of Yoruba. Tinubu is the turn of you. Just so pathetic. Nobody's asking what is your program? What do you intend to do? How do you intend to turn things around? It's so hopeless and wretched. It's our turn. And they're intellectuals. These are the people they claim are learned. What qualifies somebody is where they come from. That was why they ended up with a dead brain in Buhari that can't even spell his own name with a forged certificate. Now he's dead. In the name of "is our turn," they went to Sudan to go and bring a replacement. It's their turn. That's how foolish some of you are. And I feel sorry for you, honestly speaking. And they'll say PhD. Anyway, when you get PhD from a zoo university, what do you expect? Igbo presidency is like the second Niger bridge. It will never be completed. Or maybe like Ogoni cleanup. They flagged it off the first time, second time, third time. Instead, they will go there to destroy people's houses. How about the 30,000 minimum wage? These are promises made. Or we will return you back to 86 naira per liter petrol pump price. What happened? None of these things will ever happen. What is a dream?